let me ask you a question. What if the life that you really want, what if the future that God wants for you right now is hidden in your deepest fear? Would you look for a way to conquer that thing? Would you? Let's conquer some fears tonight. Can we do that? Yes. You see, destinies are destroyed by fear. Do you hear me? You have a destiny. And it could be destroyed by what? Fear. Fear. We can't let that happen. Fear of pain, fear of discomfort, fear of lack, fear of sacrifice, fear that life's going to be too hard, fear of losing friends, fear of being alone, fear of losing your reputation. Hey, fear that no one's going to understand you. Fear that you're missing God. Fear. There's all kinds of fears. Do you have any of those fears? Yeah. So let's look for some ways to conquer those tonight, okay? You know, poll after poll has found that most people's number one fear, can you guess what it is? The number one fear is the fear of public speaking. Yeah. That and death. Death was number 2. So that means that people would rather die than speak in public. What am I doing? I asked God a dangerous question when I was in high school. I said, God, what do you want me to do with my life? And by the way, the only thing more dangerous than asking that question is not asking that question. And what God planned for me to do was the very thing that I feared most. What a stinker. He wanted me to be a pastor, and I knew, well, okay, that's going to include some public speaking. And that was the very thing that I hated the most. I was the kid in school who sat so quiet, didn't say a word, didn't hear a peep out of me. I didn't talk to even people that I knew. And so, like, when in speech class or when I had to give an oral report, I'd stand up before the class, and my knees would shake, and my voice would quiver, and my lips would do this funky dance. I'd get diarrhea all day long. My stomach would be flip-flopping around. I hated speaking in front of people. And I said, God, I can't do that. It wasn't fair. I argued with God. Don't argue with God, because he will turn you around if you let him. But here's what I learned. I had to just do it afraid. Yeah. I had to do it afraid. Even though I had faith, and even though I knew that public speaking was something that God was going to eventually use me in, I was still very scared, and I just had to do it afraid. And you know, I borrowed that phrase from Joyce Meyer because she borrowed something from me. That phrase, do it afraid, that's her phrase. I heard her say it about a year ago, and I just grabbed onto it. But I'm borrowing it tonight because she borrowed something from me. I met her about 5 years ago, and as we were talking, she says, hey, I really like your hairstyle. I said, wow, thank you. No, okay, so here's what I've noticed. Ever since then, when I've seen her, it appears that her hair has gotten shorter and shorter and spikier. So behold the Joyce Meyer inspiration. You know, this is the inspiration for the Joyce Meyer look. Right? So, okay. She borrowed something from me, so I'm going to borrow her phrase. Just kidding. She did tell me that, though. That was a sweet thing. She is a very sweet, real person. But, you know, there's going to be stuff in life that will scare the snot out of you, and you're just going to have to do it afraid.